Hey Planet Watchers, good morning and welcome to the last AMA for 2021. It's been a very long year. Last week I already made a bit of a summary of what happened in 2021, key milestones, so I won't repeat the whole thing obviously. Nonetheless, there are a number of new things to be mentioned, so let's start right away from what we've been working on in the last few weeks and days. So first some updates, then I will answer as usual some of your questions. So key updates come here. So sensor status, deliveries and sales. As you know, we are doing our best in a very difficult global market context. So the news is the following. US sales and shipping had been a bit delayed, and we know that, and we are sorry about that, but there are lots of US shipping for Type 1 Equino sensors, which are starting today and will continue in the coming days. So lots of sensors being shipped to the USA and North America. Plus, there will be soon new emails, so new emails with purchase links for Equino as well, and again for North American Planet Watchers. On top of this, we should be able to send a large number of purchase emails for Type 3 sensors next week. As I said several times, the goal is to complete sales for Q4 2021 batch with slight delay with respect to the initial goal, so by 10 or 15th of January 2022, sorry. So we should be able to complete the quarter batch with possibly 2 weeks delay with respect to the initial plan, which I think I believe personally it's very good, because there has been a huge number of challenges, problems, customs challenges, and availability of components, which has been a challenge throughout the year. So we managed, I believe, to navigate this seas well enough. Again, I'd like to congratulate myself. I shouldn't do that, but if you know a little bit about the global market for hardware and electronic components, I think you will tend to agree with me that could have been worse. Okay, enough for self-satisfaction. Let's move to the next topic. So as most of you probably know, because they participated in the exercise, we recently had a governance vote. We asked the community to say whether they would support our proposal to raise reward rates for Type 3 sensors. The motivations were related to the quality of the data coming from these sensors. Our proposal was approved with a very large majority. So as of yesterday, the new rates have been included in the reward engine. So Type 3 owners should get the new reward rates, and they are getting the new reward rates. Yesterday was a bit of a test day, so rewards were paid in 2 steps. So once again, this change to white paper rewards, which called of course for a quick update of the white paper, doesn't bring an actual change in what people are getting as we speak from Type 3 sensors, because previously when the old rate was used, we were topping up the old rate with a 50% bonus paid out of PlanetWatch Pocket. Now, of course, the 50% bonus is no longer paid. However, the rate has been increased by 50%. So you won't see a change in the numbers, but this rate has now become structural, part of the white paper. And once again, one important point about all this is that it also allowed us to test run our decentralized governance model. And I'm quite happy to see that things have worked with some technical hiccup as it happens, unfortunately, but all in all, I think it's been a successful exercise. Talking about technical hiccups and things like that, I encourage everybody, those who have not done it yet, to make sure they have updated the app to version 1.3, because a number of issues, some of them which were related to difficulties in the vote, have been fixed in this version. So make sure you have the latest available version of the PlanetWatch app. That will help sorting out a lot of issues. Okay, now let's come to a less pleasant topic. It's about prices of sensors. Now, there is a large number of reasons. I won't go through each and every one of them why it makes sense to raise the prices of the sensor that we sell at PlanetWatch. Of course, you have no control on prices, for example, of Type 4 devices, because we're not selling them. But we are selling to you Type 1 and Type 3 devices. So we make decisions about the prices we charge, and it makes sense to raise prices for this device because there are a number of very challenging things which create price pressure. It's global customs fees and costs and restrictions which keep changing and keep going up in some cases. The structural cost of the project, from Algorand transaction fees to server fees, and the need to strengthen the team. So there is a very number of reasons why we think this price increase is in the broad interest of the project. As I anticipated, we are playing it very fair, I believe, and this is one of the reasons why I can say that is that if you already bought a license, for example, for a Type 1 sensor, and you are on our waiting list, you will not be affected by these price changes, because we have promised that holder of 2021 licenses will buy the sensor when their time comes at 2021 prices. Okay, that applies for the time being to Type 1 and Type 3, just because, of course, at the moment we are not selling neither Type 2 nor Type 4 sensors. So Type 1 and Type 3, you have a 2021 license, you get an email to buy your sensor, and as long as you hold the license in 2021, you will have a sensor at the price that you know already, which is currently published on the website. For those who will come in later, we will proceed by quarters for the time being. So the news is the following. Let's consider holders of licenses who will be buying their license next quarter, so in the first trimester of 2022, from 1st January to 31st of March 2022. This is the price of Type 1 devices for people who will be buying the license during that period. As usual, you see two prices. One applies to sales from the .io website, which is mostly aimed at European Union Planet Watchers, where typically they would be paying a rate plus value-added tax. The rate will be 1949 euros plus VAT, whenever applicable. Or on the .us website, which is meant to be used by non-European Planet Watchers, the price will be $23.99 US. Likewise, for people buying a Type 3 license in the first quarter of 2022, the new price for the Kythera SenseEdge Mini device is going to be 549 euros plus VAT on the .io website, or $6.99 US on the .us website. We are writing licenses sold in Q1 2022 because we want to keep sensor price fixed for a quarter. We don't know what will be the situation in the second quarter of 2022, so we reserve the right, if needed, to change prices again with good advance warning, and being fair as usual. So there will be no surprise. If you buy a license on day X, you will know for sure the price of the sensor that you will be paying when you get your sensor, and there will be no surprises, I would say, on that respect. All right, now this is connected to what I just said. We've been saying for a long time that license transfers will be in principle allowed, because there are a number of situations where it makes sense to let people transfer the license from one person to another, because they might be no longer able to run a PlanetWatch sensor. There might be a lot of good reasons. However, there could also be not so good reasons why people want to do it. So we will set up and announce an official license transfer policy early next year, hopefully in January. And this will be aimed at making the life easy for legitimate Planet Watchers, but try to prevent potential abuse. because since as you know, the license for type 1 and type 3 sensors is also a placeholder on a waiting list, there might be people willing to play some games, let's put it this way. And these games are not quite in the spirit of the project, so we need to set up careful policy in regard to license transfers. Also, license transfers at the moment would be a manual process requiring some manual intervention, and the time of people is not only costly, the company is paying for people who have to process these requests, but also it removes resources from other important activities. So there might be a fee associated to license transfers. But again, I'm not in a position to spell out the policy, fees and all that today. We'll do that in January, okay? Now, another thing which is quite important, because again, if you've been with us for some time, you know that the focus of the project is to deliver useful environmental data. Useful means appropriate sensors and appropriate deployment standards. So a document that we'll publish soon, again, hopefully in January, is an outdoor sensor deployment set of guidelines. So you already understand very easily that it doesn't make sense to deploy an outdoor air quality sensor close to the exhaust of a car, for example, or in other locations where very specific events are taking place, which are not of general interest. So again, we will issue a document spelling out our guidelines, and we will ask you to do your best to comply with this. More on this next year. Another thing which is coming soon, as you know, we are strengthening the team, reorganizing the team to some extent, and I don't like to be the only face of the project, if you see what I mean. My face is very pretty, as you know, but still, I like to give the opportunity to other people in the team to become a familiar face to the community, because incidentally they're doing a great job. Of course, obviously, I wouldn't be able on my own to do anything. So we have a great team, we have great people. I want you to become more familiar with these great people. So we will first of all publish an updated organization chart on the website, and later on we'll do our best to present via videos all the key members of the team. So this is coming as soon as possible. Now, I have a set of questions as usual, so let me go through the key questions one by one. So, one question about when are we getting an update on Treedom? Now, we've been talking quite a bit already of Stake of the Planet, our partnership with this company named Treedom. We really like the idea of letting people stake, not for the direct financial benefit, but to help plant trees in sustainable forests. So blah, 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 we said it several times, we haven't started yet. Because this is a complex project to implement at the technical level, to integrate into our suite of products, and we want to get it right. So I'm quite hopeful that before the end of Q1 2022, we'll be able to launch properly this project. We'll try to do it as soon as possible, but of course, this cannot happen next week. We need a bit more time. Somebody's mentioning an issue that was occurring last week, I believe, aware element devices appearing as Atmotube devices. This has actually been fixed, I'm told. This issue, first of all, affected only iOS-based, only devices run via iOS apps. But that was solved, I believe, from app version 1.2. We are already at 1.3, so I believe this issue has been solved completely. Question about Arquino certification in Asia. Okay, as you know and as you can imagine, certification is a very complex exercise. You have to go through compliance with local standards and you have to talk to local authorities. So these things can only be handled by the actual manufacturer of the device. We requested to the manufacturer of Arquino to work on Asia certifications, and they confirmed they're working on it. So this is work in progress performed by Equinox manufacturer. Another question which I keep getting, which is a cool question: what will be the biggest step milestone in 2022 for PlanetWatch? Well, there are many goals, many things we need to achieve. The list is long. I mean, more stable software, improving the sensor sales pipeline, selling data, for example, to local authorities in cities to demonstrate their value, achieve significant coverage of top cities in Europe and worldwide, enter the Asian market. All in all, we want to become the global reference of air quality monitoring. So these are a number of milestones and goals that we want to hit in 2022. Then I'm asked about my personal wish for PlanetWatch in 2022. Well, I could just repeat myself. Let me use a different set of words, but I'm saying the same thing. We want to scale air quality coverage and become the reference. We want to improve user experience because we know we need to improve it. And last but not least, we want to introduce some technical innovation with respect to what you are seeing at the moment, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. So it's not just about getting bigger, but it's about improving and refining what we're doing. Question about whether we are discussing with the European Commission regarding the Green Deal. So, of course, if you look around, you see what happens, you listen to the media, you will get a feeling that there are lots of opportunities, that awareness for the importance of environmental monitoring is growing fast worldwide. Of course, we are scanning opportunities. Just to mention one, which I mentioned already, some time ago we submitted an indoor air quality study proposal to the European Commission, and that was a joint submission with some academic partners. I'm still waiting for feedback on this. We are assessing other opportunities, including those which have been mentioned, and there will be soon a person who's going to work full-time on this, assessing all funding and partnership opportunities with respect to Green Deal initiatives in Europe at the national level and even more global initiatives. Now, question: why Aware Element is not supported in Georgia? Okay, let me state this again. Our licenses, in principle, have worldwide scope. I mean, it's a software license. There is no technical restriction on the license side, obviously. On the other hand, on the device side, since the device is a piece of hardware which it's electrical equipment, so there are a number of regulations which apply, which are different, which vary from one country to another. So generally speaking, when we say that a device is available for a specific country, not for another, we are following essential manufacturers' guidelines. So in very practical terms, we approve the device for the countries where suppliers say they can ship devices. So in most cases, restrictions are related to manufacturer policies, but we keep talking to manufacturers and try to make sure that all devices, or at least some of them for each type, will be made available to people in any country. But it's not an easy matter, because hardware is a tricky business with lots of challenges, both technical and in terms of compliance. Okay. So the list of questions, today's list of questions was not that long, so I've come to the end of my question list. We are at the end of 2021. Next AMA will be next year. So I think it's a very appropriate time to wish everybody a great 2022 year, safe and prosperous. Safe comes first to me, because we've been experiencing huge environmental challenges and huge challenges to our own health lately. You all know what I'm talking about. The pandemic is still raging, and we need to, the good side of it is that we keep raising awareness of the importance of a healthy environment. So in the future, when we as PlanetWatch talk to governments or companies about the importance of making the environment safer, nobody will be indifferent to this. Everybody will understand the importance of what we're doing. So that's the good side of a great global problem and challenge. But as you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger in general. So let's all try to be safe. Let's think about what happens in our lives and on our planet. Keep watching the planet. And let me just say, you know, I'm a very cautious person when I communicate with you guys because I don't like to make empty promises. Still, I think I can say I have a feeling that 2022 will be huge for PlanetWatch. Huge in a good sense. It will be a year of huge challenges, but also I hope huge successes. And all the people who support our project will be happy about doing this. That's what I feel, and that's what I hope, obviously. So take care of yourself, you know, your families. Keep watching the planet, and I'll see you very soon next year. And in the meantime, of course, all our communication channels are open. The Twitter, the social media, Telegram group will be there to assist you as well as we can. Of course, this is holiday period in Europe, so some of our staff won't be available, but we'll do our best to ensure continuity of all the services. And I trust we will do it as needed. So bye-bye, take care, and keep watching the planet.